in this best of 3 series. And as we can see, the teams here, Lantern, Shadow, Gligar, Shadow, Whiscash, Skarmory, Cresselia,
adds up.
Yes, and that is awesome. And what also is cool is the fact that Clodsire has been so strong in this tournament. Now we're taking a deeper look at Obethamac
recently, but this is his second ever competition facing, of course, Arceus, who was a previous champion. So it's, I believe it's the Moonblast, not the Future Sight. And there is that Gligar, and I think Arceus was predicting the Gligar would be so strong, and he brings a great counter in Mandibuzz.
Mandibuzz, an incredibly strong and bulky flyer here as we face it off against the Shadow Gligar. Now, if you're a Mandibuzz, you always want to have extra energy. I'm going to be repeating this all day because it's very important for new trainers coming in. Mandibuzz is dominant when it has energy, as Shadow Gligar here looks to throw the Aerial Ace.
And I don't think we're going to see any cheeky swaps from Arceus here, because if he gets the alignment in the back, which you kind of want to get with that Giratina Origin. We saw Inadequence do that in previous tournaments. He had very polarizing alignment kind of base situations. And here, you just want to use the bulk of the Mandibuzz to ensure that alignment. If you get alignment with Shadow Poliwrath and Giratina Origin in the back, I don't think you can be stopped here.
Yeah, exactly. And Obethamac has to potentially recognize this, that Giratina and Poliwrath could be huge threats, and we do see that with the shield on the Dark Pulse.
And you try to keep your Gligar around here to try to either get shields down onto this Mandibuzz, and this is the situation. Arceus does use the Protect Shield, and the wing attacks are adding up here, though. So in the 2 Protect Shield situation, can Gligar make it close? And then there is the swap. It's swapping on the Aerial Ace, which is resisted, calling that it would be the lower energy attack.
Well, this is a beautiful swap catching resisted damage. It is not going to like the Giratina Origin that we will see swap in a beautiful energy save there on Arceus Aurelius, making sure that he has an Aerial Ace loaded for the back end.
And that was the patience not every trainer has, because you were a Mandibuzz versus a super effective Spark, and you were patient enough to just barely get that Aerial Ace back that got swapped on and not get knocked out. Plus, now this Lantern is pretty much in Shadow Ball range and throwing on Charge Attack priority. Arceus is a champion for a reason.
Will Shadow Ball knock out here, though? Let's find out. No, Lantern able to hang on and get this crucial Thunderbolt. Now, because of the Dragon typing, Giratina Origin is going to be able to survive, but it gets it low enough now where Shadow Gligar might be able to come in and load up on energy.
Yeah, and you have an Ominous Wind bank, so you want to try to soak it. And here is the blind Ominous Wind. I think Arceus Aurelius was thinking that it was going to be the Gligar coming in, so he blind throws Ominous Wind. That is not a great attack. Plus, it's double resisted. No boost, which you can get a boost on the Ominous Wind. If this Vigoroth is actually able to counter down, but it got a really good energy advantage swap, counter swap into the Shadow Gligar.
Oh, that's such a tough position to be in, right? Do you stay in with the Giratina Origin and let the Gligar get a ton of energy, or the Vigoroth get a lot of energy, or do you force the swap, and now you're in a really bad matchup here against Shadow Gligar? But what's great is Shadow Gligar is so low that with this Icy Wind debuff, the wing attacks aren't going to do as much, and you'll be able to counter down.
Yeah, but the problem is you actually give up this energy, and a Protect Shield comes out of Obethamac, and here comes the wing attack down. Can you get the counter down? No, you can't get the counter down, and suddenly the underdog is on top here because he's going to be able to throw the Aerial Ace. Plus, he has a Body Slam bank, but it doesn't matter. Everything is just going to get knocked out. Here comes the Snarl Down. He gets the successful Snarl Down, but he's going to lose Charge Attack priority against the Vigoroth.
Vigoroth, the pseudo fighter, coming in to dominate this meta, able to handle the Mandibuzz and have that beautiful normal typing to resist all damage here from Giratina Origin. Vigoroth is meta, and Vigoroth says, see ya, Giratina.
Double resisted counters in Obethamac, competing in his second tournament ever, and also I feel like was in a negative position in this team composition. He led the Shadow Gligar into a Mandibuzz. You will lose that matchup, but he forced a Protect Shield, then he swapped into the left, and this is not a great start.
Oh no, it is not a good start, as the Vigoroth able to get a good matchup against the Giratina Origin. We do see a swap out right away into the Dugong.
Obethamac completely calling Arceus's line here, leading Vigoroth into Giratina Origin, and then the counter swap into this Lantern. This Dugong did get almost a 2 Ice Shard advantage, and actually Obethamac gives up a protect shield here. Is this the little advantage that Arceus needs to get a sweep in the back with Shadow Poliwrath?
This is what I love about Dugong, the ability to put pressure in matchups that is losing, right? You have the drill run for super effective damage. It does basically 50% of Lantern's health, as we do see the Dugong go down. But now Giratina Origin has an opportunity to really like finesse this matchup. I think what we're going to see is allowing this Giratina Origin to get low and have lots of energy and then put full faith in Poliwrath to sweep. But unfortunately, Poliwrath going to be facing off against a Shadow Gligar.
Yeah, and the thing is for Arceus, he did get that Protect Shield. That was his only chance here, is to get that Protect Shield, so he has a chance. He needs to get to double Icy Wind. He needs to hope that he can swap out that Shadow Poliwrath into the Vigoroth that will be coming out soon. And then Obethamac is slow to swap his Shadow Gligar. If Obethamac swaps instantly, he's going to be in a decent position because it's going to be so hard without that Dragon Pulse for Giratina to do literally anything against Vigoroth. Let's see how fast Obethamac swaps. And no, actually saying it, here comes the swap, and there, instant swap. Fast plays from Obethamac, and Arceus is shaking his head here.
Yeah, this is going to be tough to overcome. Shadow Gligar has access to Wing Attack, has access to Aerial Ace. Poliwrath does have the 2-to-1 shield advantage with the Icy Wind debuff, but will it be enough?
And the thing is that Vigoroth banked energy. Arceus allowed that Vigoroth to get some energy before he pulled off this move. So even if you knock out the Gligar, you're probably going to be low enough to get in range of a Body Slam. So this is just going to be a really tough uphill battle for Arceus. It looks like the underdog has a firm control of this matchup.
Obethamac coming into this tournament, dominating Arceus Aurelius here in Game 1. Game 2 isn't looking too great, but thankfully Shadow Poliwrath is able to get to this Icy Wind to knock out the Shadow Gligar.
I think Vigoroth has the Body Slam banked, and there is no timer available, so here comes the Body Slam, and here comes the victory from Obethamac, because Vigoroth at this health, there is no shot a Giratina Origin is going to be able to do anything. Throw 4 Shadow Balls, throw 5 Shadow Balls, I don't even know if it will do it.
Oh my goodness, Shadow Ball right here. Going to be heavily resisted as the Vigoroth can easily brush it off. And unfortunately, a meta-dominant Pokemon like Giratina Origin just falls short when it's facing off against normal types.
And decided to go for the boost on the second throw. I think maybe you try to go for that on the first one. Just hope you can get lucky there. Maybe he can get lucky for a boost, but I don't know if he'll get out of range of Rock Slide. And Rock Slide is available for Obethamac. Arceus gives his opponent a round of applause. Well played, well called lineup. Obethamac takes it 2-0.
Wow. Dominant show of force there in Game 1 and 2. Vigoroth, obviously, the key to victory. Being able to have that alignment against Giratina Origin was critical, because not only do you have great coverage against a lot of other Pokemon like Dugong or the Mandibuzz or even Lantern, but you
47th in Utrecht. And now coming in this tournament, getting all the way to the winners finals, and then winning the winners finals against Arceus, a previous regional champion. And it's with plays like this, catching the Aerial Ace, also knowing that he would be throwing the Aerial Ace there because you're low health. I'm extremely impressed with Obethamac's play.
Yeah, and Giratina Origin, though, had an incredible matchup here against the Lantern. Lantern was still able to put in a lot of damage there with the Thunderbolt. Giratina Origin, even with that typing resistance, isn't as bulky, so resisted moves can still do a lot.
Yeah, and the Mandibuzz has been one of the stories here in the European International Championships. It seems so strong, and Giratina seems so strong against the meta, against literally everything, against Vigoroth, and it just had no shot here. And how many times are we going to see it aligned versus the Vigoroth? As long as Obethamac was getting that alignment, it was just so hard to deal with. And that was, I think, he shaked his head a little bit there, because I think that was a little bit of a crucial mistake, because if you have any chance of winning this matchup, which I don't think you had much chance there, you needed to have that Vigoroth be energy dry.
Yes.
And then maybe you could get an Icy Wind off before the Body Slam is available. That was your only window. So to let your Giratina sit in there and let the Vigoroth farm up energy, I think was a slight mistake.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, it's like a cardinal sin in Go Battle League. You never want to give Vigoroth a lot of energy because you're going to pay for it later on.
Yeah, you always do, and Vigoroth has been a story.